Hey guys, so I'm going to be doing another decluttering video, and it's going to be on my big palettes in this last drawer. I already did the single shadows and slash small palettes. Now I'm going to move on to the big palettes. So let's take a look in here. I literally have no space in here, so I'm ready to get rid of some palettes that I don't use anymore or I don't find myself using as often, and I can pass it on to somebody else. And just to throw out a disclaimer, most of these are, you know, palettes that I bought with my own money, and some of them are sent to me, but some of them were just for review or just to try out. And also I want to put out there that whatever I do show that I'm giving away, it's not going to be to you guys, because I just don't feel okay with giving away used makeup. And some of these are going to go to people like my cousin, or you know, to family and friends basically. So I just want to throw that out there, because I did get a few comments from my social media on Instagram and here saying and asking me if I can give away my used makeup, but I just don't feel right about it. I'd rather give away a brand new palette or any type of makeup that's brand new than to show to send it to you guys that are used, and you know, I don't feel comfortable about that. So I want to start off with the small palettes that are here. I want to start off with these. So I already see myself giving away a palette that's here, which is the Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette. I already see myself giving this one away because I just don't use it, and this blending it together looks muddy, and I've tried to do a tutorial with this before a couple of years ago, and it just didn't work out for me, so I'm gonna give this away. This I'm going to keep. I love this type of colors from the Naked Heat palette, and I did do a makeup tutorial on this not too long ago. I'll link it up here if you are interested in seeing how I did a look on this. I'm gonna be doing more looks with this on my channel. This is my first palette. I'm not gonna give this away. I'm gonna keep this. This is very sentimental to me and very dear to me. As you can tell, I have used this a lot. This was like my first expensive palette that I purchased back in college, and you don't understand how excited I was to really have this palette. So this palette, I used it for my brows, for every day, etc. So this palette is close to my heart, and I don't want to give it away, so I'm gonna keep this. This is the Lorac Pro palette, and is it? Yeah, the Lorac Pro 2 palette. Yeah, the 2 palette, because I know the one is black. I'm gonna keep this because I do really like the shadows pigmented, and I did do a couple of looks with this on my channel and also on my Instagram, but I'm going to go back to this like a throwback Tuesday type thing, like, or you know, flashback Friday video in the future, and then do some looks with this. These are the 3 Too Faced palettes. This one is the first one, is all busted up, and this is the chocolate bar, this is the semi-sweet chocolate bar, and the chocolate bonbons palette. I'm gonna keep these because I'm a fan of the Too Faced chocolate bar palettes. These are like a collector's for me. I did stop at bonbons because I started to notice that the shadows weren't as pigmented as the first one, and they didn't pick up well, but I'm still gonna keep it because I'm gonna still try to play with these and give it a chance. But I did do a makeup tutorial on this palette, so I'm definitely gonna link that up here on the card, so you can definitely check it out. It's a really nice cut crease brown look, so I'm gonna keep these. I'm not making any progress with this. I only just gave away one palette, which is a naked one. So this one is the Beauty Crop palette, the Expresso Yourself palette, and this is a really nice palette. I like it. I'm gonna keep this because these are very pigmented, and I did do a makeup look on this palette, so I'm gonna be doing more looks with this. I'm not giving away my Vizier, of course. I love this palette, and I did do 2 videos on this makeup palette, so I'm definitely gonna be linking those down below because I can only fit 5 cards, so I'm going to link those videos down below in my description, so you can definitely check this out. And this is a really good pigmented palette. I love the eyeshadows. It's very buttery and creamy and pigmented. The payoff is amazing and it blends well, so I'm definitely keeping this. So this is the BH Cosmetics Foils Eye Palette, and I did show this recently in a Berries Cut Crease makeup tutorial. I'm gonna keep this because I love how pigmented they are, and I want to do more looks with this palette because I only tried this row, so I want to do focus on this palette and do more looks with this. And I also did a video on this palette as well. This is the BH Cosmetics Studio Pro Ultimate Artistry Shadow Palette, and it's a bit busted up. This one broke on me while I was traveling, and this one as well, but I have done a makeup look with this on my Instagram, so you can definitely follow me on there. And I did do a makeup tutorial using this palette, but I'm going to do more looks with this, combining with the foils palette. So I'm keeping that. Oh my god, I'm supposed to get rid of palettes, not keep them. Okay, this one I'm going to give away because I don't reach for this at all. This is the Coastal Scents Revealed palette, and this is how it looks. And this is like, if you look at it, it's like a dupe palette for the Modern Renaissance. This is on sale for like 10 bucks or cheaper, but I'm going to give this away. I don't use this at all. I used it one time and that was the last time. This is the Sephora Pro Warm palette, and I did do a look with this and I forgot about this palette, which is bad, but I'm gonna go back to using this palette and give it a chance because I did spend a lot of money on this, so I'm gonna be trying this out. But I'm going to keep it for sure. This I'm going to give away. This is a very, very old palette from BH Cosmetics. It's the 120 color palette, and this is how it looks. And then there's another layer, like another section underneath it, which is more of a cool tone and everything, but I don't use this. I used to use this way before when I was in college back in 2011. I'm not gonna keep this. I'm gonna give this away. I know my cousin will love this because she's trying out makeup and she wants to expand and do more looks in her everyday routine, so I'm gonna give this to her. This is the Galaxy Chick palette from BH Cosmetics, and this is how it looks. And I did do a look with this on my channel, and I did use, I believe, Venus. I used Venus and Saturn, but I'm gonna do more looks with this, so I'm gonna keep this. I have a lot of BH Cosmetics palettes. This is the BH Party Girl. I don't know if you remember this, but this is such an old palette. I'm gonna be giving this away. I don't use this. I have a lot of palettes and shadows with this type of color tones and shades, so I'm gonna be giving this away. This one I'm giving away as well. This is the Jenny Rivera 36 color eyeshadow and blush palette, and I'm gonna be giving this one away. I have a lot of shadows, like I said, in these shades, and these are more smaller pans, and I prefer like a big pan. Like for example, the Galaxy Chick palette, the shadows are really big, so I'm not gonna be using that Jenny Rivera palette, so I'm gonna give that one away. Wow, there's a lot of BH Cosmetics palettes in here that I bought. This is the Take Me Back to Brazil palette. I haven't used it yet. I've been saving it for a specific video because I want to do like a color series kind of thing on my channel, so I'm gonna keep this and try it out. This is the Carly Bible palette. This is the first edition one, and I did do a couple looks with this on my channel. I'm gonna keep it because it is like one of the palettes that I really was trying hard to get, and also, you know, when it comes to Carly Bible, you know, I have to have it. So the fact that she created this palette, is her first palette before she came out with the deluxe edition palette, so I'm gonna keep this. This is the Aphrodite palette by Bad Habit, and this is like a dupe palette for the what's her name, Huda Beauty. And I'm gonna try this out a little more. I did not like how it performed. This one video I'm gonna link up here that I did try it, and I just didn't like the way it looked and the way it didn't blend very well together. So, but I'm gonna try it one more time. If not, I'm gonna give it away. This is the Too Faced Stardust palette by Vegas Nay, and this is how the shadows look. And I'm gonna keep this because I did get this as a gift, and it was from my husband, and I don't want to give it away. You know, this is like a near to my heart thing, so I'm gonna keep that. This palette is, I forgot the name of this company, it doesn't really say, but this is the W72 palette. So there's like 72 eyeshadows, they're all neutrals, and I did do a makeup look on this years and years ago, so I'm gonna give this away. I don't use this. This palette is by Hot Boutique, and this is how it looks. I really like this palette. The shadows are very pigmented, and this is like a big dupe for the Subculture palette, so I'm gonna keep this palette. I really like it. I did do a couple of looks with this on my channel. This is a Juvia's Plays Masquerade. I was gonna say Madagascar. This is the Masquerade Me palette by Juvia's Place, and this is how it looks. I did do some looks on my Instagram with this, but I never filmed a makeup tutorial with this, so I'm definitely gonna be keeping this and showing you guys how to do some looks with this. So I'm gonna keep that. And this is the Violet Vase in collaboration with Nicole Consilio, and these shadows are very pretty, and I did take this with me to New York a couple of times, and I really like the shadows. They're very pigmented, even though they kind of look the same, like these warm tones right here, they look similar, but they do show up a little differently when you swatch them, and I really like it. It's a nice palette, so I'm keeping that. This is the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye palette. I'm definitely keeping this because I forgot about this, honestly, and that's bad that I forgot about it, but because there's so much that I had here that it was hard for me to look through them, but I'm definitely going to be doing some cool tone looks with this palette, so I'm keeping this. This is the Lorac Mega Pro 2 palette, and I'm definitely keeping this. As you can tell, it's very loved. I love this palette. It's so nice and pigmented, and they're just like so buttery, and the fact that this broke on me, I was so upset. That's such a pretty gold. So I'm gonna keep this and do some more looks with this. This is a Jeffree Star Androgyny palette, and I really like this palette. I did a couple of looks with this, not on my channel but on my Instagram, but I'm going to be doing some makeup looks with this palette alongside with the Blood Sugar palette, so I'm keeping this. This is the Deluxe palette from Carly Bybel, and I really love this one. I'm not gonna lie, I prefer this one over the first one because it has a lot of these light mauve shades and some shimmers. This is my favorite one right here, and this one as well. I love this mauve shade right here, and these highlighters are super pigmented, so I'm definitely keeping this. This is great for travel, even though it's a bit big and bulky. Like, I don't mind adding this into my makeup bag. I have this makeup bag that totally this fits in there, so I really love this palette. And I did do a drugstore makeup look using this palette, so I'll link it up here or down below. This is the Ulta in collaboration with Melissa Michelle, a YouTube beauty vlogger. I did do a makeup look. I did like a cut crease with this makeup look, and I tried out the liquid lipstick. I hated it. And this is like a blush, but you could also use it as a bronzer, and there some highlight. But this is a nice palette. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna do more looks with this. This is a Kat Von D Metals matte palette, and this is limited edition. I did do a couple of looks with this, and I'll link that down below if you're interested, but I'm gonna keep this because it's limited edition and I really love this palette. There's a lot of colors in there and they're very good quality. Now these are some Morphe palettes, and I know for sure I'm gonna get rid of some of these. This is the 35P palette, and this is like plums and browns. I'm gonna give this away because I do have other shadows and other palettes that do have something similar to this, and for me, honestly, they did change their formula, but for me, honestly, I don't like their old formula, and this one, it turns out muddy, so I'm gonna be giving this away. This is their 35C palette, and I'm keeping this because this is a colorful palette, and this reminds me of the Coastal Scents palette and the Viseart colorful palette, and I want to play with this a little more, so I'm going to keep this. This is their 35T palette, and I don't remember getting this, so I'm gonna be giving this away. Even though it's such a pretty palette, like I said, I have palettes that are very similar to this. This one's a 35O palette, and this is how it looks. I'm gonna keep this because I love warm tone shades. These shades right here are not my favorite because they just turn up so muddy, and I just don't like that. A lot of people were saying that they prefer the new formula and the new 35O matte palette and the shimmer palette, but I'm gonna keep this because this is an OG for me and I like the colors and the warm tone colors, but you have to be careful with those because they will come out muddy. This is the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I was so mad. I'm not gonna lie, I'm so mad at this palette because you know that time when you were getting the Jaclyn Hill palette, you had to wait like 2 months or a month to get the palette, and I was so upset. And it was like, once I received it, I was like, I don't even want it anymore. So I'm gonna give this one away. I don't mind getting the new one. I just have to have the courage to get it, but I'm just not a big fan of Morphe like I used to be. This one's the 35K palette, and this one I'm giving away as well. Somebody else could use this, and I have these kind of shades in a different palette that are better quality. This one's the BH Cosmetics 26 color palette, the neutral eye and blush palette, and I don't remember this palette. Oh, okay, yeah, I do remember it now. I'm gonna give this one away. Somebody else could use this for every day or just play in makeup, so I'm giving this one away. And I'm gonna be using my 7th generation spray. This is their Powerful Clean All-Purpose Natural Cleanser, and you do have to clean your makeup drawer every now and then because of all the bacteria and how dirty it gets. So this is all my palettes, and it does look a bit like not Tetris like, but you know, like it looks nice, and now I can definitely see everything displayed and I don't have to worry about not being able to close my drawer. So there you go. These are all the palettes that I'm giving away, and they will go to a new home.